Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be reviewing another scan tool, one many of you probably wouldn't have seen, and a company that you very rarely hear of. I'm going to be reviewing it and showing you what kind of features it's got and if it's actually worth buying. This was sent to me probably over a month ago. I just haven't got around to actually doing a review because I just haven't had the time. I thought I'll do it now because obviously I promised the company I'll do it for them, and obviously I have used it myself quite briefly. It's obviously a good scan tool, but we'll go over it in more detail, show you what the scan tool is. Some of you may have seen it, some of you may have not. I mean, it's not the kind of scan tool that's advertised everywhere, but I'm sure they're going to be. And when we review it, I'll tell you why that is at a later point. But let's get onto it and I'll show you what scan tool it is. You guys can make up your mind. Let me know what you think of it. So this is the scan tool, guys, and if you can see, this is the hard case it come in, hard plastic case. I suppose all scan tools come in this now to make them look fancy and expensive. And obviously the price they're charging for this, I wouldn't say is extremely high like the others. I would put it in medium price bracket, but I don't know, you guys can make up your mind. I believe this retails for about £329 for this scan tool. And it's an okay price, it's an average price for something of this kind of caliber. Many of you ain't gonna need this kind of tool. If you do have BMWs, then the launch grader for BMW is more than enough for what you're gonna need. But obviously there is others that are gonna want the scan tools, especially shops or other people doing other various cars. And obviously these videos get found by other people in the other car scene. Now, obviously I'm not gonna sit here and tell you this is the best scan tool, but I'm not gonna sit here and tell you this is the worst scan tool either. So let's go ahead and open it up. The company on here is Ancel. Now, many of you might know them. I have reviewed a cheap one of theirs before, but they're now starting to bring out these more fancier scan tools. And like I said, I'll explain the good and the bad of this scan tool. So this is Ancel. They have just started developing higher quality scan tools. When we open it up inside, you'll see here, we've got our user manual, which is always in the pack. It explains everything you need to know inside it. Obviously you've got a serial number that you're gonna need to register with that. Luckily, I didn't. Usually you will have to register this, which links the OBD to the actual scan tool. Chinese people now have got a habit for doing this purely because now, once you register it, you can't actually sell it because it's linked to your email address. So all the registration of the scan tool is then linked on. This is why I suppose I don't mind sending me them, because once they're linked, you can't pass them on over. You've got to give that person your email address. And then that means he's got your email address for every single scan tool that you use. So it wouldn't make sense, would it? So they're very clever on what they do. They do this so you can't really resell them on. Inside here, you've got the scan tool. I'll just open it up here. Just take it out. So you can see here, this is the scan tool in question. So this is the X7. See here, it's in a rugged case, like a rubberized case. If you drop it, it will just bounce. It's got a camera on the back. You've got Ancel on the back there. You've also got your power button right here, volume button as well. What else do we have? We've got USB-C right here. Obviously the case itself, you can take off if you really wanted to, and it ends up becoming like a, you know, mini Hawaii tablet or whatever it is they use. But we'll get into that more in a minute. In the box here, you've got like a little programming box, which is actually your wireless Bluetooth connection box, so you don't have to be with the car. Now, I think this is a really great feature, especially for the price of the tool, £329. You get this wireless connectivity without having to have a wire connected to the car. Now, you can connect to it if you wanted to via USB, which is right here, USB-C, and it goes into basically a micro port if you really wanted to, and connect it to the tablet, but you don't have to. This works Bluetoothly, so you'll see in a minute when I go and plug it up to the car, we'll leave it connected and I'll be able to walk here with the scan tool and leave it connected. But this is the actual device that comes with it. It's really nice. Really nice. It feels just like a normal, if I'm honest, Chinese programmer that I use for doing BMW cloning and programming. But obviously it's of high quality. It works flawlessly. I've used it already. Works fast as well. This is your lead that you're going to want to connect to. Now you probably know this lead. Launch use all these as well, which is connected to their tablets. They're all the same kind of VCI com, like for a computer screen, to an OBD connector. You'll plug this into here, plug this part into the car, and you can just leave the box in the car while you go away and do your diagnosis. So what we'll go ahead and do is I'm just going to plug this in so you guys can see. Now with these, I have learned something in my time of doing with scan tools. Always make sure you put these pins in, because if not, it will end up coming out when you leave, when someone pulls it or anything, and then you'll lose connection to the car. Obviously, it don't matter for our purposes on this scan tool, but if it was programming or coding that comes disconnected, that would be a big issue. So let's go and put this on the car, and then we'll turn on the scan tool and show you all the features and options this actually has. Okay, so this is now the scan tool. What we're gonna go ahead and do is just turn it on quickly. So I'll just hold it to turn it on, small button on the side, and you can see there now it's now gonna turn on. And once it turns on, you'll be greeted with the Ancel screen. The connector is now connected up in the car. You'll see it start pairing with it via Bluetooth. It says vehicle inspection pilot expert. So if that's what they believe you are while using this, I think it's a diagnostics expert, not a pilot expert. And if you can see here, this is the screen we're displayed with. You've got your serial number up there. You've got the OBD, which registers right up here as well. So you can click up here and you can see that it's connected to all the pins. You can see the power. So you can see it's connected to pin 1, 3, 6, 7, and then all the grounds, 14 and 16. It reads all the pins. You've obviously got all your hot functions, feedback, data playback, so you can record and whatever else, settings, user. So user will be for all your updates. You've got a DTC query, so you can query the fault codes to find out more information on them. If we just go into the hot functions, you guys will get a drift of what you can do. So you've got ABS bleeding, battery, DPF, EPB, IMO keys, injector, oil reset, SAS, throttle and TPMS. Now this will vary based on what car you actually plug this up to, but this is what it's just showing now for this car. So you've got all them functions there. I know many of you are going to care more about that than anything else, what functions it can do. If it can do everything, and I believe it will, so on BMW you'll get all them kind of hot functions that you were able to do everything you need to. If we're going to diagnose, you can do it by the VIN. So what we'll just do here, I'm just going to show you so you can get a drift of it. If we just do it by the VIN, auto detect. We'll just do that. So it will go through a list of the VINs just like it's doing. Then it should find the car and then we'll lock onto it and be able to read. So you can hear, I can hear the OBD connector clicking away down there. When you can see it's wireless because I'm over here and that's in the car. So while it just does it, it should be able to find the VIN number and then give us what car, make and model it is with no issues or without me having to find the car and find the model and variant and everything else. So we'll just leave that to do its thing. Now you can see it is quite slow. It's not as fast as other scan tools that I've used, but it's what you would expect. You know, Ancel are quite new to the market and I believe this is their own software. I haven't seen this used in any other manufacturer so far. I know many people say the UIs are mostly similar and all the Chinese manufacturers use them all the same. But you can see that it did pick it up in the end, so we'll just click OK. And you've got system selection and quick test. So this can do basically all your DTC codes, read your fault codes. You can also do your live data. I don't believe this can do adaption reset. It can't do anything like that. It's not that advanced. It can't do adaptions. It can purely only do live data and fault codes. So if we just do a quick test, you can see here, we'll read all the fault codes on the car. And now if we go up here, so we just click air conditioner, we say connecting to ECU. If we do system information, a lot of information like the hardware number, what part it is. We click trouble code, read DTCs. You can see the interior sensor fan. Obviously, it will just give you a basic code. We can clear that if we wanted to. We've got a data list, so we've got actual values. We could do all the live data as well in the module. Input signals. Again, it's all live data graphing if you really wanted to do that. This is what the scan tool actually does. Like I say, it will vary based on different cars, but from what I believe, and what I'm under the belief of this scan tool is that it's not bi-directional. I believe Ancel will probably bring that out later in the future, but bear in mind this is their probably first scan tools they're bringing out, which are handheld like this. I'm sure they will release that later on, but right now it doesn't do all that. So really this is just your basic scan tool for trouble codes and live data. And obviously if you want something a bit more fancy than your average, you know, corded scan tool that you've got to carry around, if you don't want a cheap scan tool, you've got something more better like this. But you know, it's up to you guys what you want to do. I'll put a link down below for you guys to go and check it out as well if you really want to. But as I said, it's not the best scan tool in the world. I'd put it in the medium range because of having obviously wireless and Bluetooth OBD connection. But apart from that, it's an okay scan tool. Read your fault codes if you need to. But doing anything else apart from that, it's not going to do it. I don't believe they're going to bring coding on this or programming. So consider this just as basically a normal scan tool. You can see there as well, that's the OBD connector, which is right there. You see it's always flashing away when you read it, so it is wireless. You can just leave it there in the car, pull it wherever you want and read the fault codes. It sits there, and like I say, it's a nice unit. The whole unit's really nice. It's just a shame that they didn't have more features to it. But overall, the quality of the products are strong, sturdy. They're not breaking apart. Everything works straight out the box. It didn't take me long to set up, it all took me about 10 minutes. which isn't hard. Most of the time I was waiting on everything to update. This connected within 2 seconds as soon as I put the tablet on, so it all worked, started clicking away, and I got what I needed to get out of it. But yeah, guys, you go and check it out, let me know what you think. But overall, like I say, it's a medium product, and yeah, I suppose it's okay for the price. I mean, the best thing they could have done is put bi-directional on it, but hey, I'm not the company, who knows why they've done that. I'll let you guys, you know, decide what you want to decide on the comments, so do let me know what you think about this scan tool. Okay guys, so as you've seen, I've now reviewed this Ancel X7, and as I said to you, I did expect this to be a lot better than what it actually was. I was expecting it to have bi-directional, and as I said, I do consider it to be in a moderate price bracket, which is what you'd expect for a scan tool like this, which is about 300 quid, which is normal. But obviously, as many of you guys know, you can easily buy a £300 scan tool that is actually bi-directional, launch ones, TOPDON ones. There's loads of different manufacturers out there. So I don't understand why they would have put something like this, which has got very, very good potential, out on the market without it being bi-directional. Now the OBD dongle they do have is really, really good. It's wireless, and if this was bi-directional, this would be an all can do it all scan tool. It would be really, really good, because obviously the package that you're getting, touch screen, you know, tablet style, big enough for most people, able to do everything, and you know, they didn't do that. As I said, Ancel are still new, so let's give them credit where it's due. This is their first kind of tablets they're making. I do expect them to be making a lot more, and who knows, they might dominate the market later on. But right now, this scan tool is a good scan tool if you just want to read your fault codes, but do bear in mind it ain't gonna be bi-directional, and that could eliminate them from a lot of people from being able to buy it, because I know many of you guys want bi-directional tools. But overall, it's a nice tool, it's a nice layout, and so we're trying their hardest, at least they're not copying and using someone else's UI. They're making their own one, trying to do their own thing. So let's give them the credit. And like I said, guys, go and check it out. I will link it in the description down below, and I'll also pin it in the comments for you guys to go and check it out. Thank you very much for watching. As I said to you, this was sent to me by the Ancel team. Thank you very much for watching, guys. It's BMW Dr. Dean here, and goodbye.